In our last video, we shared a tour of our new house, and you guys wanted to see the outside. So we wanted to try to find a way to make a good outdoor tour video, but it's cold outside, it's snowy outside, and you don't really get the full effect of everything that's out there. And instead of crunching around in the snow and being cold trying to share it with you, I took a lot of clips, so we're going to overlay them as we talk about it right now.
In case you missed it in our last video, we moved to Michigan and we have over 10 acres.
We bought a 2-bedroom house that we will be turning into a 3-bedroom house soon. A lot of you guys suggested to do that, and that's our plan. We do plan on making that 3rd bedroom. So let's start outside at the back of the house. It's a 1-story house on a concrete block crawl space. The crawl space is dry, it's nice. We don't have a basement. I know a lot of people asked if we had a basement, so no basement, just a crawl space. And then right out behind the house, we do have a pole barn, and that's been really cool to have that. When we were looking for a property, outbuildings were a necessity. We had to have something in place, because if we had to build everything from scratch, it would just cost a ton of money.
Way too much money.
It has power and water out to it, and that's going to be super cool when we get to having livestock. To the right of the pole barn, there's actually a large fenced-in garden area. It hasn't been gardened in probably like 20 years. I don't know. It's been abandoned.
Or more.
So it's full of trees, but we do plan on clearing those trees out and actually starting a garden right there again. We're just going to take advantage of that spot. It's actually one of the best spots for a garden.
It's close to the house. It just seems like a good spot.
This property was actually set up as a small homestead many years ago, and since then it's just been used as a kind of a vacation home, and so the property hasn't been used for a number of years, right?
Yeah, at least 11. The last owners had it, and they only came here during the summer.
So the fence around the garden is cool, but it's pretty rickety. A lot of the posts are broke. We'll probably have to refence it, and we'll have to pull all those trees out, but we're definitely going to try to revive that garden. Behind the pole barn, there's actually a chicken coop that was built off the back of it. Again, the chicken coop has been neglected and it's not great. It's pretty nasty inside and falling apart.
And we're going to tear it down, right?
We're going to tear it down and we may rebuild it back there.
It has a wooden floor in there that's all like falling apart, and tons of insulation is like drooping from the ceiling.
Yeah. So behind that, behind the pole barn and all that, we actually have a really cool rock pile. We have 2 rock piles on our property, and I don't know what we're going to use them for, but I always like rocks. For some reason, I just thought it'd be cool to have a property with big rocks on it. And there are some big boulders, and we could make really cool rock gardens or possibly rock walls or buildings.
Something, fire pit.
Something. I mean, it's hard to see under the snow, but some of the rocks are huge, but even like smaller ones, there's like a ton of them. I mean, these piles are
because at some
big.
point the land was plowed and they probably plucked all the rocks out of the field and piled them up.
Piled them. And some of these piles have been sitting here since like the 80s, right? Just like
at least, yeah.
For a long time. And we have our woods. We have a large section of woods, and they're just so cool. They're full of all
evergreens. Aspens, just all kinds of beautiful trees.
A lot of hardwoods, oaks, and different things. And there's a lot of down and dead wood that we can already harvest for firewood, so we plan on getting a wood stove as soon as we can in the timeline of remodeling the house. A wood stove is in our future, and
we also plan on making trails through the woods to walk or ride on or whatever we want to do.
When we were house searching, we actually said, like, okay, let's see, what do we all want? And I asked Val, what do you want in a property? And she really wanted woods. We looked for a property that was woods and pasture. That's what we found here, and that's really cool. We found a lot of properties that were all woods or all clear, and it was hard to find a good balance.
And we definitely wouldn't buy a property that had all woods. Had to have some kind of clearing on it.
Though I did see some cool ones.
Yeah.
To the left of the woods, we have a field. It's probably about 3 acres, and it's mostly clear, but as we said, it's been neglected, so there are a lot of saplings shooting up, but they're not big yet.
And they're spread apart a lot. Like, there's not that many.
And they're mostly pine or spruce. They're evergreen. So they should be easy to get rid of. They're not... If you cut those, an evergreen tree won't regrow. It'll just stop. It should stop. So they should be easy to get rid of, but we're going to try to pull the roots. We don't want stumps.
We're going to leave some for aesthetics and shade.
Though
They're really pretty.
They'll probably be eaten.
Probably.
If we have livestock.
We'll see.
So the field, the pasture is really cool. It's kind of elevated above where our house is. We have a slightly hilly terrain. And,
which is nice.
We really like that.
We wanted a land with personality and not just like flat.
Yeah. It's somewhat level. It's just high.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. So coming back down out of the field and back up to the house, we actually have another barn. It's kind of like a run-in, maybe a tractor barn. I don't know. It's just an equipment.
Kind of like a big lean-to type structure.
Somebody used to have horses here years ago, and they divided that building in half, and I believe that's where they kept their horses. That's probably where Ashley will keep her donkey / mule, whatever we get. And
all we have to do is put a gate on it and screw some boards in, and it'll be good to go.
It's almost ready to use. So that's really cool to have that. So we already have a barn for livestock. It's facing south, so none of this snow has gotten in. It stayed really dry, really clean in there.
And the other side of the barn we're going to use for hay storage or straw or whatever. It's really large.
And whoever laid out the property actually did a good job of it, because we're happy that it's south facing, and just everything's really good. We have a loop driveway. Just everything we really would have done in a property ourselves, somebody else did. So we really feel good about the property.
Yeah.
Behind that barn, we actually have quite a bit of land also.
And that's pretty clear back there. It just has some mostly evergreen trees are back there. Yeah. I actually like it over there. It's nice.
Some other things that you probably can't see in the video, but was important to us on this property, was well and septic. And it does have a well and septic. We didn't want to be tied to any city sewer or water.
And we don't have any streams or ponds or anything like that on the land.
Yeah, and that's okay. We actually didn't really want it. But we probably will be doing rainwater collection and using our well. So we'll have plenty of water. Oh yeah, and coming back to the pole barn, to the left of the pole barn is also a really cool apple tree. There's actually 2 apple trees there, and they produced a ton of fruit, so we're looking forward to that. It's so great to have mature fruit trees on the property. So I think that wraps up the property tour. It is an awesome property. I think we're going to be able to do everything we wanted to do here, and that's exciting to us. It's got the terrain that we wanted. It's got the layout that we wanted. It's got the amount of pasture that we wanted. I really wanted like a 3-acre pasture because I think that's perfect. We don't want to get carried away with a lot of animals, and the more open land you have, the more maintenance you have to do, and the more fencing you have to buy. So I'm just happy with it all.
Me too.
Yeah. So that's the property tour. We'll probably do another one actually in spring or summer, because we really want to see it when it's green, it's beautiful, and it'll be easier to walk around and show everything. So look forward to that. And in the meantime, we're going to probably start doing some projects around here, and you're going to see that. Every day is just kind of, we're taking it as it comes, so we don't know what's next.
Yeah, we just go with the flow. We have no clue.
But I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, take care.
Bye.
I can see, Mommy, look, snow made snowball.